right, y'all. Right now we're heading to the hospital for her annual.
My first year of this heart, which is where they're going to do, it's like an all-day appointment where they do an echo and multiple tests to make sure the heart, I don't know why, I'm yawning, the heart is good and there's nothing wrong with it still.
So physically, what is it that they do?
Right now we're going for the echo, and then after the echo I go down to the cath lab and I get checked in there, and then they do all of my blood work, and then I go back into the lab and they will either go through my groin or my wrist to check and make sure the valves and everything is still good and the heart is functioning the way it's supposed to. But with the blood work, they're doing something called an AlloMap to make sure that I'm not in rejection. And if it looks like I'm in rejection, then they would have to do a biopsy.
So not unnecessarily giving you a biopsy.
Correct.
Because that's more extensive, right?
Correct. And it's a longer process.
And with in regards to the process itself, I know that a few days prior, you get anxious.
I get anxious, and I also get phantom pains where they go in for biopsies, or and since they've done both legs, it makes it to the point where sometimes both legs hurt or my ribs hurt. It depends upon how anxious I am and how bad my phantom pains are.
But for this procedure, they'll put you to sleep, right?
Yes, I always ask for them to put me to sleep for all.
But they don't always put you to sleep for all the procedures, right?
No, my biopsy they will put me close to out because I move on the table. This one they normally put me close to out, if not out, because of it's hard for me to be in like a surgical room. When they do some other procedures, they don't put me out.
Yeah. And I'll basically just be waiting. I'll talk to the nurses and the doctors. They'll give me a timeline.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know for the biopsy, if it's your leg, you have to wait an additional 2 hours.
Yes. If it's the arm, it's like 30 to 40 minutes.
It was an hour last time.
Or an hour. And I think it's an hour because of them going in through an artery.
So if they use your arm, then it should be an hour, right?
Yes.
And then afterwards, they put this like
They put like a pressure thing.
Like this little pressure thing here. It looks like little balloons, and it's translucent to where they can see if the blood is
if there's any blood coming out or not. It's green.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh.
All right. Well, unless you wanted to say anything else, honey.
No, I'm good.
All right. See you all later with
With how it went.
Yep.